Hi everyone, welcome to another lecture video for abdominal aorta. In previous class, we discussed about the ventral branch of abdominal aorta. Today, other branches of the abdominal aorta will be discussed. First of all, lateral branch. There are four lateral branches present. First of all, here we can see the inferior phrenic artery, which is the first lateral branch. Then middle suprarenal artery and renal artery, and finally fourth option is gonadal artery. So there are four lateral branches: inferior phrenic artery, middle suprarenal artery, renal artery, and gonadal artery. Now see these branches in the picture. So in this picture we can see there are different branches. First of all, here these two branches, they are the inferior phrenic artery. Then just below it, this is the suprarenal artery, which is the middle suprarenal artery. Below this, renal artery, and finally the lower part, here it is the testicular artery or ovarian artery, that means the gonadal artery. So these four pairs of branches are the lateral branch of the abdominal aorta. So in this picture we can see this is the renal artery, which is the lateral branch, and this renal artery, it supplies the kidney. And here we can see this is the gonadal artery. In case of male, it is the testicular artery, and in case of female, it is ovarian artery. Here we can see the right testicular artery and left testicular artery. They arises from the abdominal aorta in the abdomen, but finally they descend up to the testis. So it travels a long path to reach up to the testis. And here we can see this is the suprarenal gland, and the suprarenal gland receives three blood supply. One of the blood supply is middle suprarenal artery, and this middle suprarenal artery is arising from the abdominal aorta. So from the abdominal artery, renal and suprarenal, but middle suprarenal. Other two sources of the suprarenal gland blood supply, one is the inferior phrenic artery, another one is the renal artery. So finally, the anatomical levels or vertebral levels of these lateral branch. First of all, the inferior phrenic artery, it arises from the thoracic 12 vertebral level. Then middle suprarenal artery, it arises at the level of the lumbar 1 vertebral level. Then renal artery, it arises from the lumbar 1 and lumbar 2 vertebral level. And here we can see the gonadal artery. This gonadal artery, it arises at the level of the lumbar 2 vertebral level. So these vertebral level are very, very important also for the branches of the abdominal aorta. Again, inferior phrenic at the level of the thoracic 12, middle suprarenal at the level of the lumbar 1, renal at the level of the lumbar 1 and lumbar 2, and gonadal at the level of the lumbar 2. So finally, again we can see the lateral branches for revision: inferior phrenic artery, middle suprarenal artery, renal artery, and gonadal artery, that means the testicular artery or ovarian artery. Then terminal branches, here we can see the terminal branches. One is the right common iliac artery, another one is the left common iliac artery. So terminal branches of the abdominal aorta are right common iliac artery and left common iliac artery, and the common iliac arteries arises at the level, or it terminates of the abdominal aorta at the level of the lumbar 4 vertebra. Here we can see the terminal branches. One is the right common iliac artery, another one is the left common iliac artery, and they bifurcate from the abdominal aorta at the level of the lumbar 4 vertebral level. Here we can see this is the lumbar 4 vertebral level. And finally, the dorsal branches. Dorsal branches, they are the four pairs of the lumbar arteries and median sacral arteries. So dorsal branches, they are two series. One is the four pairs of lumbar arteries and medial sacral arteries. So here we can see the posterior branches. First of all, the lumbar arteries, that means this. There are four lumbar arteries, which is the posterior branch of the abdominal aorta, and the median sacral artery. Here we can see this branch, which is the this is the median sacral artery. So median sacral artery and four pair of the lumbar arteries, they are the posterior branch of the abdominal aorta. So again, four pair of the lumbar arteries and median sacral artery. So here in short, this is an abdominal aorta, and it's showing the different branches, such as here we can see the anterior branch. Anterior branch are celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery, two terminal branches, right common iliac and left common iliac artery. And posterior branches such as the lumbar arteries and median sacral artery, and four pair of lateral branches. Here we can see the inferior phrenic artery, middle suprarenal artery, renal artery, and gonadal artery. Here we can see the branches of the abdominal aorta. They may be divided into paired branches and unpaired branches. Here we can see paired branches are total 9 pairs. Here the names: four pair of lumbar arteries, common iliac arteries, inferior phrenic arteries, middle suprarenal arteries, renal arteries, and gonadal arteries. So here we can see first of all one of the posterior branch, which is the lumbar arteries, then the common iliac arteries, that means terminal branches, and four pairs of lateral branches. They are the paired branch of the abdominal aorta. And four important unpaired branches, they are the celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery. They are the anterior branch of the abdominal aorta, and median sacral arteries. So they are the unpaired branch of the abdominal aorta. Here we can see the different level of the abdominal aortic branch. This is very important, and they also shown in previous slide. Here you can see the celiac trunk, which is thoracic vertebra 12 level, and inferior phrenic, this both from the thoracic vertebra 12 level. Then here we can see superior mesenteric artery and middle suprarenal, they arises lumbar 1 vertebra level. This vertebra level is very important for any type of the exam. And here we can see the renal artery, it arises from lumbar 1 and lumbar 2, gonadal from lumbar 2, and the lumbar arteries, as they are 4 number, and they arises from lumbar 1 to lumbar 4 vertebral level. Then we can see the inferior mesenteric artery arises from the lumbar 3 vertebral level, median sacral artery arises from the lumbar 4 level, and common iliac, which is the bifurcation of the abdominal aorta, also at the level of the lumbar 4 vertebral level. So here we can see the abdominal aorta in short. It arises from the thoracic 12 vertebral level and terminates at the level of the lumbar 4 vertebral level. This is the another picture of the abdominal aorta, and here showing the different part or different type of branch of the abdominal aorta. And here we can see the inferior mesenteric artery, which is the anterior branch of this abdominal aorta, and it supplies the different parts, including the left 1/3 of the transverse colon, then descending colon, sigmoid colon, rectum, and part of the anal canal. Here we can see the inferior mesenteric artery and supplying the different parts. And common landmark or common vertebral landmark, it is also very important for any type of exam. Here first of all, inferior mesenteric artery, it arises at the level of the lumbar 3 vertebral level. Bifurcation of the aorta into common iliac arteries at the level of the lumbar 4 vertebra. Formation of inferior vena cava at the level of lumbar 5 vertebra. And diaphragmatic apparatus, vena cava, this is thoracic 8, esophagus, this thoracic 10, and aortic hiatus from thoracic 12. So this vertebral level is very important for. Here we can see the different branches of the abdominal aorta. And this slide also important that the abdominal aorta, it supplies almost all of the branches to visceral except few, and we have to remember this name. First of all, inferior phrenic, it is a parietal branch. Here we can see parietal branch. Inferior phrenic is a parietal branch, and rest of the branch here we can see they are the visceral. And in the second slide here we can see four pair of the lumbar artery, also parietal, and median sacral, also parietal. So posterior two branch, one is the median sacral and the lumbar. These two are the posterior branch of the abdominal aorta. They are gives the parietal branch, and here we can see the inferior phalanx. It gives parietal branch. So these three branches of the abdominal aorta, they gives the parietal branch, but other branches supplies the viscera. But common iliac also it's different because it is the terminal branch and it acts as a conduit for next. So this is all about the abdominal aorta. Thank you all.